Hi everyone, this is Sandy Reese with Stampacrew.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Thanks for joining me today. We have a really cute project using the Gingerbread Man bundle in the new mini catalog. This bundle is not part of a suite, it's just a standalone bundle, but it's so cute. We've got a really nice big Gingerbread Man stamp set and dies to make a little card. The Gingerbread Man has lots of little different trims you can use, and it has 4 different faces. We also have a die set which makes a lot more than just the Gingerbread Man. So it cuts out the card. If you just want a single Gingerbread Man, you can just cut them apart, or you can make 2 out of that. It gives them a hat, a scarf, a cup of cocoa. We have a bow. We have a 2-part peppermint. We have a 2-part lollipop peppermint. We have a fun little word bubble. We have a little die that cuts his leg off if you want to do oh snap, since they're ginger snaps. We have an extra little trim you can add to the Gingerbread Man, jelly beans, and candy cane, along with the faces that you can die cut if you choose to do that. And then it also has 4 sentiments. We have Season's Eatings, Baking Spirits Bright, Sugar and Spice, and Everything Nice, and then Oh Snap. So this one checks all my boxes because it does have some nice little fun puns that go with the stamp set. Okay, so let's get to it. We're using both of these today. This is one of our big die sets, and then here's the stamps. So what I want to do, I'd like to do a lot of holiday treats. So I found these cookies. They're Anna's Swedish Thins, and I found them on Amazon. You can get them a case, I think 12 come in a case. But I was looking for gingerbread cookies, and you know, I was doing this project in August, and it's really hard to find a lot of varieties of Christmas candy in August. So I found these, they're not gingerbread men, but they are ginger cookies. So that's what we went with. And then I'm using a piece of real bread, and you'll notice it is not scored anywhere, and that's on purpose. And then I'm also using a piece of our, this is an online, it's called Elegant Pine Snowflakes designer paper, because it's a snowflake pattern, but it's made out of pine needles, which is really kind of cute. And then it has these little red berries on it. So I'm using this as my designer paper. And then I've already pre-cut my Gingerbread Man card out of pecan pie. He's got a little garden green hat and a real red bow. So we're gonna stamp the rest of the gingerbread, and we have some of the ribbon, some red ribbon. So let me show you how I'm making this box. So I start on the back, and this cardstock is 5.5 by, I think it's 11, 5.5 by 11. And I like to start on the back, and because I didn't want to measure, I want it to be snug but not so hard that I can't get it off. I'm just finger pressing as I go around. Just like this, finger creasing all the corners. And then I'm going to take it off and crease these really well with my bone folder. And as I fold that, I make sure that it's even on the edges. This just saves a lot of scoring time. It makes it easy. You don't have to measure. So you can just do a simple little wrap around your box and then score it. So that's all done. So I'm going to, I like this this is the front. All right, so I'm gonna flip it around, and I'm not gonna glue it to the box, but I am gonna glue it to itself. So I put that long, the bigger piece on top, and then my little flap goes here. So we're just gonna use a little bit of seal adhesive. There's not gonna be a lot of pull on this, so I think that should be fine. All right, so that's covering my cookies. Now I want to do the same thing with this. I think it's 4 by 12, so you can get 3 out of a piece. And I'm going to start on the back, same way. Just go right around. The finger press, this one's a little easier because the paper's thinner. And same thing, I'm just going to really crease those finger score lines. We have a lot of different papers that would look beautiful with this in both the mini catalog and our online exclusives. Okay, I want to start on the back. Where is it? Okay. Doesn't really matter which way I go, I guess. We're just going to rotate. Now, this can be attached to the box because this box is just like a big giant belly band. So I'm going to make sure it's centered. Bring this up. Hold that down. And then bring this side up. Just making sure it's lined up. And there's the main part of our box already done. Super quick and easy. Okay. The last thing I'm going to do is, well, not the last thing. I'm going to go ahead and tie my ribbon around in a bow. This is optional. You do not have to do this, but you can. So I'm just going to tie it right on the edge of my box, right on the corner. Okay, we're going to trim the ends real quick. Okay, so box is done. Now let's do our gingerbread man. All right, this is the front. He's my embossing buddy. And I'm also I'll just go ahead and do this because I'm going to stamp a little bit on the inside. So on the front, I've got my gingerbread man built with, I put this little round face in, make sure his eyeballs are on straight. And then this little squiggly line I just put kind of in the middle. So we are going to just use some Versamark. Make sure we get those inside pieces. And we are going to stamp right on the front of our gingerbread man. And it's pretty, since we have these clear stamps, it's pretty easy to line that up. I'm just making sure, nice and pressed. You can even see right there how nice that goes. And we're going to use white embossing powder. And we'll just cover all that Versamark. Oh. Scraped it off his head by accident. Okay. Tap the extra back in. Got to get his arm a little bit better. Okay. We are ready to emboss. Let's heat it up. Oh, I got a little bit on here. Let's scooch that over. Oh, I have to move that. Okay. Now when you're heating, you want to just make sure you heat it just enough so it melts, and then you want to move on to another area. And of course, once your heat tool gets going and it gets nice and hot, it goes a lot quicker. It's just kind of fun to watch as everything heats. Okay. All right. So next we're going to stamp on the inside. We're just going to stamp Seasons Eatings. And I might do it up here so I can do a little bit of writing down here at the bottom. You can stamp it wherever you want. Normally I do it in the middle, but I'm going to put it on the top for today. Whoops, sorry. I whacked the camera there. Okay, that went much quicker. All right, let's put his little hat on. I'm just going to use a little bit of liquid glue here, a very thin amount, and put his hat on. Maybe a little angle's kind of fun. And then his scarf. Just like that. And I think we'll give him a couple of buttons using our peppermints. These little peppermint adhesives are from last year. We still have these in the online store. I think I'm going to use a couple of medium size. And we're just going to put these right here. 1, 2. Perfect. All right, last but not least, we're going to pop this up on our box. Let's see. I'll put this more in the middle because we may have pieces kind of hanging off. Tuck that in. Well, I put that down a little bit. He's already down, so we're just going to go with that. Isn't that cute? I mean, who wouldn't want a little gift like this? Perfect for coworkers, or that's a big stocking stuffer, but isn't that sweet? You have a little secret Santa. I mean, who wouldn't want to get that? And then that bow kind of keeps the card closed if you tuck it in there. You can do your sentiment, and then that bow keeps it closed so it's not flapping open. All right, I hope you enjoyed our project today. Remember, any orders you place with me at $50 or more are going to get a set of that month's card class projects, which we'll actually be doing next Thursday at noon. So make sure to stay tuned or check back in for that. And I will post the measurements and supplies on my blog, so you can make these at home. All right, thanks everybody. Bye-bye.